course, your money matters. We always say this is the time of year right here at the start of a new year to look at your finances a little more closely. And success usually means envisioning success, which in turn means setting goals that you can achieve. That's where sometimes the problems come in. I'm happy to have with me now financial advisor Maggie Johndrow of Johndrow Wealth Management. Good to see you again.
Good to see you.
Yeah, glad
Happy
to
New Year.
have you here. And Happy New Year. I hope you had a good 2023. Let's get people a good 2024.
Yes.
And I want to start by talking about goal setting because it sounds simple, but for a lot of people, especially if they're not familiar with finances, it can kind of be overwhelming and stressful. So where do you think people should start with that?
Sure. The budget is the foundation of any goal setting, any financial plan, and any goals to pay down debt. So it's perfect time to look at your budget because you have 12 months to look at.
Right.
And the easiest way is to download your itemized transactions from last year, categorize them, and figure out your average for every category.
Okay.
Is that how you want to spend your money? Is there somewhere you can divert from one category to another to reach your goals?
Yeah, I feel like doing that, tracking that spending, that's when you start to see a lot of the small things, like the daily coffees that can really start to add up. You'd be surprised. All right, so what are some small changes like that? Maybe don't have the morning coffee that costs $7 or something. What are some other small changes people can make that might add up over time?
The biggest one, I believe, is to increase your retirement savings by just 1% if you're not already maximizing those savings. It's only going to cost you a few dollars per paycheck. You probably won't notice it too much, but over time, 10, 20, 30 years, because of compounding interest, it can make a world of a difference, thousands of dollars for retirement. So go ahead and up that by at least 1%. You're not going to feel it. Small change, big impact.
Yeah, compounding interest. It winds up affecting so many different sort of financial decisions you make, right down to doing the debt repayment, like you had said first, because usually that's where the interest rates are the highest. You're just paying so much more. What about other ways to maybe get a little bit more out of your savings account?
Sure. So if you haven't done it yet, high yield savings accounts. Make sure they're FDIC insured because that will protect your money should the bank go under up to bank limits. But a high yield savings account is based on interest rates. As we know, interest rates are elevated. They're very high. They're not always going to be like this. So take advantage of higher interest rates now. I've seen high yield savings accounts pay anywhere from 4 to 4.5% per year of interest to you. So by saving in these accounts, you're making money.
Yeah, it used to be these things would be like 0.1%.
Exactly.
Now, I mean, you can go on to treasurydirect.gov. You can go buy the treasury bills and things like that. We've talked about that too. All right, 2024, any sort of financial changes system-wide that people should know about?
Yes, so in your retirement accounts, you can actually add more. So for your 401k, 403b, and an employer-sponsored account, if you're under 50, you can add in $23,000 a year. If you're 50 or older, you get a $7,500 catch-up on top of that. IRAs, same thing. You can now add $7,000 a year, and if you're 50 or older, $8,000 a year. All
right. One last question. I have to ask this over and over, and I keep forgetting the basic differences between a traditional IRA and a Roth IRA. I think that's what people have to deal with a lot. My eyes wind up glazing over.
Sure. What you have to remember is you're going to pay taxes on both types of accounts, but it matters when. So a traditional IRA, if you are eligible, you're going to get a tax deduction today. Your money is going to go tax deferred, and then in retirement, that's when you pay your taxes. Roth IRAs, you pay your taxes today, but then your money grows tax-free for the rest of your life.
So if you're younger and you're expecting that your earnings potential is just going to grow over time, which one of those two would make sense now versus later?
Sure. If you believe that you're going to make more money in the future, you're going to be in a higher tax bracket in the future, a Roth IRA tends to make more sense now.
There you go. I like it when it's simple. That's a good one-sentence answer for something that's usually a lot more complex. So I appreciate when we're simplifying it, Maggie. That's what you do well. Maggie Johndrow from Johndrow Wealth Management. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good to see you again, guys.